Sukune was always a loser who lacked a brain cell, but was still smarter than you and me. He repeated his junior grade for 3 years straight, but somehow by some miracle he ended up getting into a high school academy, even though he failed his junior high. He was really happy about it, but it turns out to be a school for monsters. This moron almost gives up until he accidentally makes all the monster girls fall for him, and he becomes the strongest Shinso vampire in existence. One day, a group of junior high school boys inside a classroom complains that they will be stuck in an all-boys high school for the next 3 years, and they really envy mixed schools since there will be lots of cute girls there. However, they immediately take back their words since one of their classmates, Sukune, didn't make the grade to get into any high school. They cheer him up, saying not to be so depressed because they know he will surely make it next year. Sukune is really sad, but he pretends he is okay as his classmates head over to the arcade to celebrate for finally passing junior high, without inviting him. Later, at his home, Sukune's mother calls him, informing him of good news, saying that while his drunk father was coming back from work, he happened to meet a priest on the way who dropped a strange-looking paper, and as he picked it up, he learned that it's an admission card for a very popular high school that even an idiot like him could attend. His mother is really happy for him because finally her idiot of a son will not have to repeat this year again. As he sits on the bus, finally on his way to a new high school, the bus driver asks him if he is a freshman at the Yokai Academy, warning him that he should be mentally prepared. After all, it's a terrifying school. He asks him to elaborate, but the driver just ignores him. His favorite cousin calls him, saying that she has heard from her mother that he is really going to the Yokai Academy. Sukune agrees, and she tells him she did some research on the school, and she found out that the school is very dangerous, but the call gets cut before she could explain everything. As he gets off the bus, a scarecrow is right in front of him. He looks at the landscape, seeing a red sea with a creepy mountain, saying that it looks like a totally different world after entering the tunnel, not realizing that it actually is. The driver tells him good luck as he leaves, while Tsukune tries to call his cousin, but sadly there is no reception. As he tries to find the school around the creepy place, he ends up in a cemetery and gets really confused. Just then, he hears a strange sound, and he gets really worried as the sound is coming closer and closer towards him. He tries to search for it, and as he turns back, he realizes that the creepy sound was just a bat making weird noises. He is relieved, but suddenly, out of nowhere, Bicycle Kun suddenly hits him, trying to get him ice guy. A pink-haired girl with exposed white panties flies off the bicycle like a rolling ball. After the accident, Tsukune tries to get up but accidentally touches her thigh, and she makes one of the boys' favorite sounds. She apologizes for trying to ice guy him, saying that her eyes went blurry because she is anemic. Tsukune froze in one place like an idiot as he see her beautiful face. The two idiots finally realize that Tsukune's hand is very close to her floodgates, and knowing this, he panics like an idiot, telling her that he didn't mean to do it, and his nose starts squirting out. The girl tries to wipe his nose with her handkerchief, but as she gets closer, she starts feeling hot from the scent of his blood. She apologizes, telling him that she is a vampire and immediately bites his neck. But as she tries to suck his blood, she realizes she is doing something wrong, so she stops immediately and apologizes to him. Tsukune gets really worried but realizes that she did not suck her blood. He asks her if she is from the Yokai Academy. She tells him yes, saying that she is a freshman, and he is very glad to hear this, telling her that he is a freshman as well. Out of nowhere, the girl suddenly asks him a question if he hates vampires. Our idiot thinks she is joking and tells her he has no reason to hate them. The girl gets really happy and throws herself towards him, asking if he would like to be her friend. He gladly agrees, and she is very grateful since she doesn't know anyone there and was feeling really worried. She introduces herself as Akashi Amoka, while Tsukune thinks that he is really lucky because he will be getting to spend his high school years with such a pretty girl. Later, as the class begins, the homeroom teacher welcomes them and starts explaining the rules, that this is a school of monsters and as of now the world is under the control of the humans, and therefore, in order for them to survive, they must coexist with the humans. Tsukune is surprised to hear this, but as he tries to ask questions, he gets ignored. The teacher starts explaining the first rule, which is all the students must be in their human form, unless a special situation arises. Rule number 2. No other students should know their true form, and everyone must follow it. There is no exception. One of the students with a cool mullet but an ugly face gets full of himself, telling the teacher he would just eat any humans if he sees them. Tsukune gets terrified, wondering where the did his parents send him? The teacher explains that it's not possible for humans to enter this school because the whole school is covered by a secret barrier, and if any unsuspecting humans enter, they will be killed on the spot. Tsukune gets even more terrified that he ends up dropping his book that caught the attention of the ugly face, saying that he can smell a human scent from their classroom. Just then, Mocha enters the classroom, apologizing to the teacher for being late. She introduces herself to everyone, and all the ugly boys get really happy to see such a hot girl becoming their classmate. But to their dismay, Mocha sees Tsukune, and she throws herself towards him, and all the losers just stare at him while drooling at her ass. Later, the whole school looks at the two idiots, saying, "Why is an ugly loser like Tsukune doing with such a beautiful girl?" While Tsukune is still panicking, stating to himself that all this must be a dream. After all, there is no way that a school of monsters can truly exist. As the two idiots are chilling beside each other, while sipping a Coke, the ugly face with a good mullet idiot approaches them, lifting Tsukune up with a single hand, asking, "Mocha, why is a beautiful girl like her hanging out with such a pathetic loser?" He throws Tsukune to the corner like his used toy and catches Mocha by the shoulder to prevent her from helping Tsukune. He tells her not to bother with a loser, and she should play with him instead. Of course, his pickup line didn't work, as she tells him that she'd rather be with a loser than an ugly ass like him. Later, as they escape to the rooftop of their school, Mocha asks him if he is alright. Tsukune is really worried, asking her if that is the power of a monster. She laughs at him, calling him weird, asking why he is pretending like that was the first time he saw a monster. She tries to ask him what kind of monster he is but realizes that they can't do that because of the rules. Tsukune calls her an idiot because she already revealed to him that she is a vampire. She blushes, telling him that she wasn't aware of the rules earlier, so it doesn't count. He tells her that she doesn't look like a vampire, so she reveals her secret, pointing at the rosary near her boobs, saying that she may look normal now, but once the rosary is taken off, she will turn into a terrifying, true vampire. That's why the rosary acts as her seal, and she can't even take it off herself. Tsukune tells her not to worry. She may be a terrifying monster, but to him she is still a cute girl that he randomly met. Mocha is really happy, and she hugs him, telling him that he is her first friend, and she decides to confess to him, calling him her first love as well. Tsukune is confused, but Mocha explains to him that until now, she only sucked tomato juice and a transfusion packet, but the moment she sucked him, she felt something really weird because she could not forget the sweetness, the fragrance, and that feeling that she got from his blood. Tsukune gets terrified as he feels her bloodlust pushing her away and runs as fast as he could to escape from her. He gets really scared from all the students around the school, as he knows that his life will always be in danger if he stays here, so he decides to leave. Mocha could feel that something was wrong. That's why she decides to come and see him. Tsukune tells her that he will be leaving this school and will attend a human school instead. She immediately hugs him, telling him not to do that, and reveals that she really hates humans because they are very cruel. Back in junior high, she went to a human school, and she was very lonely because humans didn't believe in monsters. And so she became the crazy girl of the class, and they treated her very cruelly. That's why she hated that she was a monster. But when he told her that it was okay even if she was a monster, for the first time in her life she didn't feel alone in this world. That's why she doesn't want him to experience the cruelty of the humans. With a sad voice, Tsukune asks her, "What if I am one of the humans that you hate? Would you still accept me?" Mocha gets really confused, but he decides to finally reveal to her that he is actually a human. He only got to this school because of some mistakes, and he really hates monsters and doesn't need a friend like her. Realizing his mistake on what he just said, he dashes towards the bus station, trying to leave this place for good. Mocha chases after him, but gets intercepted by the ugly face. He turns into his real form, an orc, and immediately tries to lick her. Mocha screams in disgust, and Tsukune hears this, realizing that it must be that ugly face trying to hurt Mocha. He wants to help, but he knows that a pathetic human like him cannot fight a monster. The ugly face taunts Mocha to transform as well, but she replies that it's against school rules. So he tells her that they are outside the school, so it's fine. He grabs her leg with his disgusting tongue and throws her around like a toy. Tsukune finally decides to man up and appears out of nowhere, mocking him, saying that he is an ugly idiot with a good mullet. The ugly smacks the living shit out of him, calling him a weak monster. Tsukune falls down the hill. Mocha immediately dashes after him, and the both of them end up in the bus station that Tsukune was having a hard time to find. Mocha grabs him and apologizes because he fought for her even though he is weaker than her grandmother. She tells him that she is a vampire and it's in their nature to suck blood and harm humans. But back in her previous school, what she had really wanted was a friend. It didn't matter if her friend was a human or a monster, and she had no intention of harming anybody. The ugly face finally reaches their location, and Sukune is really inspired by her words, so he tells her to move aside, and he will be dealing with the ugly face. He knows that he is just a weak and worthless human, but it doesn't matter because Mocha is his friend, and he will do anything to protect her. But his cool words didn't mean shit as he gets slapped to the ground. Mocha cries on seeing him like this, but he grabs her shoulder, telling her that even if she is a vampire, he still really likes her. Just then, he accidentally takes her rosary off. A bright light emits from her body, and all the bats start wrapping themselves around her. Suddenly her boobs start getting bigger. Her hair becomes silver white with a crimson red eye. The ugly face is really surprised and worried because she turns out to be an S-class monster, and he knows there is no way for him to win against her. As she stares at him, the ugly face whole body starts trembling, but as he tries to overcome his fear, she immediately kicks him, stating that he should know his own place, and he gets knocked out with a single strike. Sukune could see that she is totally different from the usual Mocha, but as he tries to approach her, he falls unconscious right on her chest and gets really happy, realizing she is still the same Mocha with a beautiful scent. Later, as he wakes up, Mocha is really happy to see him finally awake, asking him if he is alright. Sukune is really confused, wondering if all of that was a dream. But he learns from Mocha, as she hands him the time scheduled for the bus. It only comes to this school once a month. He is really worried to know this, but at the same time, he is happy because he finally found a good friend and decides he will continue attending the school for a while. The next day, as he heads to class, he knows that he has to wait a month until he can return back to his world. Until then, he can't let anyone know about his secret identity as a human. Mocha heads to class as well, and as the ugly classmates tries to hug her, she immediately ditches them and hugs Sukune instead. They are all really mad at him, but they cannot do anything since they had heard that he easily defeated the delinquent monster with a good mullet but ugly face. Sukune, with a sour face, wonders who the hell spread such rumors, but Mocha just holds his hands and guides him to the classroom. The boys are really jealous of him, while a girl with a bouncy treat spies on them. As they are walking, Mocha tells Sukune that she can tell he is probably lonely since he is the only human in a school full of monsters, so she tells him not to worry, and if something troubles him, she will always be there to help him. Sukune gets lost in his thoughts, thinking that even though he is scared of her, he is really glad that she is very friendly. As he smiles at her, Mocha feels a bit creeped out and wonders why the hell he is staring at her. So she decides to punish him by sucking his blood with the excuse that she didn't have breakfast and is dizzy. He panics, telling her that he is not her breakfast, and immediately dashes off. He cools off at the nearby lake and is really terrified of Mocha, thinking, what if she sucks him completely dry? She is a vampire after all, he shouts loudly, exclaiming, what is he doing in such a scary place? Just then, he notices the girl with the bouncy treat and approaches her, asking if she is alright. She tells him that she got dizzy all of a sudden, and as she faces him, this idiot folds, thinking that she is really pretty with all the nice and thick accessories. She begs him to give her a hand, and as he helps her, she starts using her bouncy stuff by rubbing on his chest while asking him if anything is wrong. Sukune tries his best to prevent having a premature milk release, telling her that he needs to take her to the infirmary. She thanks him for helping her, and he doesn't realize that this was all her plan. At the same time, Mocha calls herself useless because when she smells Sukune blood, she can't resist it at all. She is really worried, thinking, what if he starts hating her for this behavior? And so she decides to apologize to him as soon as possible. As the two morons head to the infirmary, the girl calls him by his name, apologizing that she is troubling him. Sukune asks her how she knows her name. She comes up with a really good excuse, stating that they are classmates after all. She pretends to feel dizzy again and throws herself towards him and tries to make him explode again with her bouncy treat, with an excuse that ever since she was born she was always weak and whenever she feels dizzy her treat starts to bounce like this. He couldn't take it any longer and was about to cause a white explosion, but suddenly the girl started hypnotizing him, introducing herself as Kuruno Kirimu, requesting him to be her friend. He immediately hugged her, trying to take her right there and then. Sukune sees all of this, asking him what is going on. She introduces herself as her classmates and pulls Sukune, saying that class is about to start. As he leaves with her, Sukune tries to stop him, but he tells her that he won't wait for her since she only thinks of him as her breakfast anyways. Suddenly, he realizes why he is saying such cruel things to her, but immediately succumbs to her hypnosis again. In class, Mocha learns that the girl who snatches her man is Kirumu, and she wonders what her relationship with Tsukune is. Tsukune is really sad for saying all those things to Mocha, so he decides to apologize to her after class. But as the bells ring, he finds that both the girls are missing. Elsewhere, as Mocha sips her cola, Kirumu tells her that she knows she is a vampire, telling her that she came here to challenge her because she is in the way of her grand plan. Mocha is confused, so she explains to her that her goal is to turn all the Yaokai Academy boys into her love slaves because she is a succubus after all. Mocha tells her it's against the rules to reveal their true identity. She simply ignores her, stating that her plan is currently failing spectacularly thanks to her because all the boys are falling for Mocha instead of her. That's why she has decided to steal Tsukune from her and defeat her completely for stealing her spotlight. Tsukune makes his way to the girls, and as he meets Mocha, he tries to apologize for earlier. But Kirumu throws herself at him and uses her hypnosis as he tries to push her away. Mocha tells him to stay away from that girl since she is dangerous, but he denies it. Kirumu tells him that she just realized that he smells like a human. That's why Mocha is trying to manipulate him so she can use him as her breakfast. Tsukune tells her that he finally realized why Mocha tried to befriend him. Mocha tries to deny the accusation while Tsukune asks himself why he is being so mean to her, and he can't even control his words. Mocha gets really sad and runs off while Kirumu laughs at her, stating that she finally won. At the infirmary room, Kirumu is really happy because she made her opponent cry, but Tsukune gets really mad at his rudeness towards her, so he decides that he needs to find her and apologize. Kirumu stops him by covering his face with her treat, telling him that she knows he is depressed and not to worry because she will comfort him. At the same time, Mocha sits outside on the stairs, thinking if what Tsukune said was true, if she really only wants his blood. She gets really sad as she cries, saying she doesn't know what is what anymore. Just then, her rosary starts talking to her, explaining that this is no time to be depressed, revealing that Tsukune is only enchanted by the succubus lure, and he is merely being controlled by it. Mocha is surprised that the rosary is talking to her, but it reveals further that those who receive a succubus kiss will become their slaves, and their energy will be sucked from them until they die. Telling her that she should hurry, Mocha immediately tries to find her boy, but he is busy with Kirumu as she tries to kiss him. He tries to reject her but can't refuse her charm. She tries to kiss him, but suddenly he regains his consciousness and immediately hugs her, trying to prevent himself from looking at her eyes. Kirumu tries to push him away, but Tsukune tells her that he just can't do it. He said so many bad things to Mocha, and he needs to apologize to her. Kirumu is confused, wondering how he broke from her charm, and she gets really angry at him, stating that she did all these embarrassing things to get him. But now he is only talking about that woman. She decides enough is enough as she reveals her wings, trying to kill him for humiliating her. But Mocha comes right on time to save his life as she punches Kirumu, launching her outside of the window. Tsukune is really happy that she came, and she reveals to him that Kirumu's true form is a succubus, and she has the power to enslave men. Tsukune finally realizes that's why he was saying all those horrible things to her. Suddenly, Kirumu uses her tail and grabs him by the neck, and Mocha holds on to him, trying to save his life. The weight of the two gets too heavy for Kirumu as her butt plug of a tail loosens, and the both of them fall to the ground. Kirumu prepares her claws and tries to kill the both of them, but Mocha was able to save him yet again. She is really glad that her boy is back to normal. She tells him to take the rosary off her chest so she can fight to protect him, but he couldn't take it off. Seeing this chance, Kirumu tries to kill Tsukune, asking Mocha why she is still trying to protect her food, but Mocha wholeheartedly covers him, stating that she is not protecting him because he is her food, but because Tsukune is her precious friend. Kirumu tells them to stop yapping such nonsense because men only exist to become their slaves, and she tries to kill the both of them. Tsukune decides to stop being useless and tries to protect Mocha, but accidentally takes her rosary off. Mocha transforms into the S-class vampire, and Kirumu realizes the rumor of Mocha being a vampire was true, as she did not believe it earlier. Kirumu is terrified as fuck, but decides to fight her anyways as she has an important mission to ensure her race's future because a succubi seek their destined partner by enslaving them. So, to ensure that they won't become extinct, they need to choose the destined one from a large number of men. She immediately attacks Mocha. but she easily dodges, catches her tail, and kicks her towards the tree, instantly defeating her. Mocha is disgusted by her for trying to steal her man, so she decides to snap her wings and her tail. But Tsukyun stops her, saying that it's enough since he can tell that Kirimu is a good girl and she was just trying to complete her mission. Kirimu cries on hearing his kind words while Mocha decides to listen to her man, telling him not to misunderstand because she is only preventing someone else from snatching her blood away, unlike the other Mocha. She puts the rosary back and returns to her normal state. The next day, as they were on the way to their class, Mocha informed Tsukune that yesterday was really strange, wondering if her seal is weakening. As he thinks about the dominant Mocha, he looks at the normal Mocha, telling her that both versions of her are his best friends, so that's why giving up a little blood isn't a problem for him. Mocha is happy, and Tsukune apologizes to her for what he did. And the both of them stares at each other, trying to kiss, but Kirimu disturbs their happy moment, telling him that he is her destined one because he risked his life to protect her. That's why she has fallen for him. Both of them get really surprised, and the two girls starts fighting with each other for Tsukune. Later, as the midterm exam results are finally out, Tsukune the idiot as always ranks at the last. At least this time he is in the top 200, while Mocha ranks in the top 10. It turns out she is a beauty with brains and brawn. Mocha meets up with Tsukune, telling him not to be depressed, and if he would like, she will help him study for the next exam. While the two have their annoying moments again, which I am totally not jealous of, a midget witch stalks at them, longing to get a taste of Mocha's ass. Just then, her ugly-looking classmates arrive, congratulating her for being number 1 again. But they start taunting her, stating that she should not get cocky, as they can see that she is flexing her attire by wearing a cosplay instead of a uniform. One of the bastards tries to sniff her panties and mocks her, stating that her existence is a headache to them. So she used her magic to teach them a lesson. They get really angry and immediately attacks her, but luckily she gets saved by Mocha, and they retreat, knowing it's not a good idea to fight publicly like this. As they sat in the cafeteria, the midget thanks Mocha for saving her, introducing herself as Sendo Yukari. Mocha tells her that she knows about her because she is quite popular for being a genius. Even though they are classmates, she is 4 years younger than them. Sendo blushes at her compliments and throws herself at her, groping her treats, revealing that she is in love with her. She asks her out, and Mocha, the idiot, decides to accept, saying it's fine if it is just as friends, and Tsukune jizzes his brains out, wishing that was him instead. The midget decides to grope Mocha, even while in public, so Tsukune confronts her. But the midget tells him that a half-assed idiot like him has no right to defile a goddess like Mocha. So she is challenging him for that position. She uses her magic to teach him a lesson and reveals to them that she is a witch, boldly stating that from now onwards she will use her magic on anyone who dares to approach Mocha, not realizing that her ugly classmates are spying on her. At the infirmary, Kirimu is taking care of Tsukune, and he reveals everything about what had happened to him. Kirimu is happy to hear this because she knows he won't be able to get close with Mocha, and this is her chance. She starts seducing him, explaining about the midget, that even though she is a genius, she is hated by her classmates for her selfishness. At the same time, the midget is right outside, and she decides to use a voodoo doll to defeat him thoroughly. Then as Mocha enters the infirmary to spend more time with her man, she sees him groping Kirimu, not realizing that it's the midget's doing. She thought that Kirimu is using her charm again, but as Kirimu gets up, the midget makes him pull her panty off, shocking the both of them while Tsukune jizzes his brains again. Mocha gets really mad at him, but he tells her that it is a misunderstanding until the midgets accidentally reveal themselves. Tsukune is really mad at the midget's behavior, stating that if she continues like this, she will be hated by everyone, and sooner or later, she is going to be all alone. Sendo replies, telling him she is a genius and doesn't need any friends of a lower intelligence. Besides, she was always alone from the beginning. He feels bad about her on hearing this, but she uses her magic again, laughing, and runs off. He tries to chase her, but his girl stops him, saying that being angry at little kids is going overboard. He gets mad at her, stating that she is the one who needs to leave her alone. As Sendo is running, she remembers classmates and how they made fun of her just because they are not the same age. Everyone bullies her since they know she is a witch, stating that she is more similar to humans than monsters. That's why there is no place for her in this school, and her grades must be good because she uses magic to cheat. She really hates all her classmates. That's why she thinks that it's better if she is alone. The ugly bastards bump into her, stating she broke a school rule by revealing her identity. Therefore, they will punish her. At the same time, Mocha and Tsukune are arguing about Sendo. But Mocha just leaves, telling him, why is he like the others? Why can't he understand about that midget? She feels pity for her. That's why she can't just leave her like this. Tsukune is confused with all of this, so Kirimu explains that a witch is an existence crossed between a monster and a human, and they are called half-breeds. Sadly for them, they are not accepted anywhere because humans hunt and kill them, while in the demon world they are looked down on and mistreated for being unpure. That's why the midgets must be really lonely, and Sukuna realizes that she is the same as him, so he runs off to see her. At the same time, the ugly classmates take her to a secluded location and reveal their true form as lizardmen and try to punish her. Sendo tries to use her magic to fight back, but her wand gets crushed by them, rendering her useless. They attack her again, trying to lick her floodgates, but Mocha comes to the rescue. The ugly bastards, not realizing who she is, decide to eat her as well, as she looks more tasty and thick compared to the midget. Sendo tells her to run away. She can take care of such low-level monsters by herself. Mocha tells her to stop yapping, stating that she should not act so tough. She is still young, and it's alright to ask for help. She doesn't need to be alone anymore, since Mocha knows how it feels to be alone. That's why she can't leave her, as she wants to help her. Hearing this, Sendo cries, and she hugs her. The ugly bastards get really annoyed for ignoring them, so they decide to attack while they are still distracted. But our boy makes his entrance as well, as he saved the midget but got scratched in the process. As the midget tries to push him away, he tells her that he understands the feeling of being lonely. That's why she should let him help her. The ugly lizards are tired of this nonsense, but as they attack again, Kirimu comes to the rescue, and the bastards wonder what the hell is going on, cursing at the writer. Tired of the plot armor, they try to attack again, but as always, Tsukune accidentally pulls Mocha's rosary off. She turns into the S-rank vampire again, and in 59 seconds, she beats the shit out of all of them. After the fight, Sendo tells them that she did such awful things to everyone. Why are they still helping her? Tsukune tells her it doesn't matter because everyone simply wanted to help her, and with a kind voice, he tells her that she is not alone anymore. Mocha starts crying again, and the next day, she apologizes to all her classmates for her past misdeeds, and they gladly accepts her. But as Mocha enters her classroom, she sees the midget confessing to Tsukune, telling him that they need to go to Pound Town right now. Kirimu tries to fight back, stating that she should be first, but Mocha immediately kisses him, boldly stating that Tsukune is only her man. The next day, Tsukune is really happy that there are hot monster girls drooling all over his ugly face, and it's already been a month. But as he sits in class, he wonders if it's really okay to go on like this since his life is always in danger if they find out his secret. He gets lost in his thoughts, and as the teacher calls him, he stands up and unknowingly asks her what the hell he is supposed to do. Later, Mocha asks him what's going on since he looks very depressed. He tells her it's nothing, but she advises him to tell her if there is anything that is troubling him. The two idiots share a moment again, but it turns out she just wanted to suck his blood. But Kirimu intervenes, stating that she is sucking him too often and he is completely dry right now. He tells Kirimu that it's fine since it is in her nature. So, knowing this, she uses her charm, stating that it's her turn then to drain his special milk as well. Later, as he is walking alone during break time, 3 ugly simps approach him with a teary eye, stating that they will never forgive him, calling him his enemy since he has been stealing the attention of the goddesses of their school. And since the 3 of them are the leaders of the fan club of the 3 goddesses, including Kirimu, Mocha, and Sendo, they really hate him and want to unalive him. Tsukune wonders what these idiots are blabbering about and tries to leave, but they immediately strike him with their weak attacks, calling it a divine punishment, stating that a weak, ugly moron like him doesn't deserve to be by their goddess's side. Just then, the girl comes to his rescue, and the moron midget uses her magic to fight the ugly simps. But instead of hitting them, she hits Tsukune instead and knocks him out, giving the simps their chance to escape. Later, as he cleans his wounds in his room, he thinks to himself that he wouldn't have been in this mess if he were a bit stronger, stating that he wouldn't have needed to depend on the girls. He tries to call his cousin even though he knows there is no reception, asking if it's okay for a loser like him who relies on girls for his safety to continue to stay in the academy. At the same time, the 3 ugly simps curse at Tsukune while making plot to the pictures of the 3 goddesses, stating that if they removed Tsukune out of their way, then they can take pictures of the girls to their heart's content. The next day at the cafeteria, the girls inform each other, including Tsukune, that lately those 3 ugly simps have been following them around, taking their picture without their permission, and would always give some lame excuse when they tried to confront them about it. And even the fatty would follow Kirimu around, trying to riz her up, which gives her the creeps. The girls know somehow they will deal with it if they try something funny, but they are worried about Asukune since he is weaker than their grandmother. They decide to be his escort even though he rejects the idea, but Mocha forces him, stating that he needs it since he is a weakling, and she almost reveals to the girls that he is a human. She immediately realizes her mistake and tries to cover it up, but Tsukune just leaves them. Mocha runs after him and apologizes for yapping too much, but he tells her that it's not her. He is sad because even though he is a man and he should be protecting everyone, instead he is the one being protected. That's why he feels useless and dashes off. Tsukune decides to leave the academy since the bus will be coming that day anyways. He decides not to tell the girls and just leaves them a letter. But while he is heading to the bus station, the midget sees him. She immediately goes to inform Mocha, saying that she saw Tsukune going somewhere and he looked like he was brooding over something while carrying his bag. Hearing this, Mocha realizes that today is the day for the bus to arrive, and Tsukune is probably trying to leave the school, while the bus driver wonders if that human is still alive. As Tsukune reaches the bus station, he gets worried about Mocha calling her name, but the three simps approaches him, confronting him for daring to call their goddess by her name. Knowing that they are outside the school boundary, they transform into their true form, but it's even more ugly than their human form. They agreed, saying they know they are very ugly, and in the school filled with gorgeous and handsome students, there is no way any girl would like them. That's why they hate people like Tsukune, who don't work hard and are well liked by the girls. They start attacking him, stating that only their idols are the ones that can cure their sorrow now. That's why they will eliminate him so that they will always stay their idol. The three girls come to his rescue again and manages to save him. Tsukune gets sad, stating that he is saved by them yet again. Mocha slaps him, calling him a big idiot. After all, they are friends, and friends should help each other. Besides, he was the one who helped them first, by accepting Mocha even though she is a monster, by protecting Kirimu even though she tried to kill him, and finally by his kind words that saved the midget. The ugly simps gets tremendously jealous of Tsukune, stating that they will never forgive a man like him. They start attacking the girls with the snake head attacking Sendo, the ugly fat shit attacking Kirimu with his disgusting fat juice, and the umbrella idiot trying to attack Mocha with his special milk. The girls are so disgusted that they cannot fight back, so Tsukune taunts them by calling their acts shameful for attacking girls. They agree. After all, he was their main target, not the girls. So, the three shitheads decides to combine together, becoming an even uglier shithead than before, and smack the shit out of him. Mocha tries to help Tsukune, but he tells her to back off, and he will protect everyone. And like always, he accidentally pulled her rosary off, and she transforms into the S-rank vampire again. But instead of being scared, the ugly, disgusting, smelly shitheads are happy because their true idol, whom they have waited for so long, has finally descended. Mocha is really creeped out, so she takes the help of the girls and easily defeats the ugly, smelly shitheads in under 80 seconds, making them stay away from them and Tsukune. With that, the dominant Mocha tells him that it will not be good for her if he leaves since she will lose her food. On top of that, the recessive Mocha would cry from loneliness, and even the other girls starts begging him to stay. Tsukune finally reveals that he wasn't planning on leaving. He came there because he had some letters to send out to his parents through the bus driver. Turns out him leaving the school was just Mocha's mistake in judgment. She pretends like it was not her fault as the bus arrives. Tsukune hands the driver the letter, and he compliments him on having such an admirable determination while he laughs like an idiot. Mocha returns to normal, falling in his arms as she cries, telling him not to leave her, and he promises that one day he will become strong enough to protect everyone. Later, in the classroom, the teacher informs them that a red telephone that can connect to the human world has finally been installed in the small store. And also the bus timetable has now been increased to once a day. This really surprises him, and he is happy. The next day, as they have a grand football match, Tsukune performs tremendously well, stealing the hearts of all the girls with every kick. Their class easily won the match thanks to him, and so, Mocha rewards him later with a kiss. But it turns out it's only his imagination running wild when Mocha was sucking his blood. In the class, the teacher informs them that everyone must join a club. Since the purpose of this school is to let demons adapt to human society, that's why they must have activity the same way as the humans. Tsukune drools his ass off thinking that his imagination will finally come true once he joins a football club. But later, as both Mocha and Sukune tries to find a club, everything turns out to be weird, and there are no decent clubs at all, until he hears about the swimming club hosted by the beautiful and popular seniors. All the boys drool at her ass, including the idiot Sukune. The woman directly looks at him, stating that he will get special service from her if he joins her club. And Sukune decides to join since this is the only normal club, and it's a lot similar to football in terms of cardio. Thinking that he can impress Mocha if he shows her his skills, he decides to take a look first, and Mocha hesitantly agrees. Later, as the woman teaches Sukune how to swim, Mocha sits at the corner looking jealously at them since she is scared of the water. The woman tries to seduce Sukune by rubbing her treats on him. This pisses Mocha off, and she starts an argument with Sukune, stating that he only joined the club just to get close to the girls, and she decides to leave him alone to enjoy. Sukune comes after her, stating that it is a misunderstanding, but as the water touches her, she gets terrified. The woman calls her a bothersome girl, prompting her to leave, and Mocha gets really sad as she dashes off. Sukune tries to follow her again, but is stopped by Kirimu's sandwich slam as she tells him that she has joined the club. He tries to ignore her, but the midget comes next as she throws her cutting board at him. The two girls tries to seduce Sukune, seeing that Mocha isn't around him, and the two morons ends up fighting by comparing the size of their treats, which Sukune tries to stop but gets shut off completely. Mocha, on the other hand, became weak as she touched the water, and the dominant Mocha called her an idiot for risking both of their lives, telling her to calm down and not let the idiot fool around with her. It turns out, water is a vampire's weakness since it has a strong purification effect, which is why she uses herbs to neutralize the water to wash her face. Later, as the water sports event is happening, the members of the club must fight with each other. Sukune is really sad thinking about Mocha and wondering where she is. The woman approaches him, trying to pull him in the water, saying that it will cheer him up. At the same time, Mocha cries but decides not to give up because she wants to be with Sukune. The dominant Mocha warns her not to go back, saying that she should stop having a relationship with a human, since Sukune doesn't even understand her a single bit. He doesn't even think about her. Mocha immediately denies the accusation, stating that Sukune isn't like that. She tries to go to the swimming club again, but the dominant Mocha stops her again since she can't swim with him anyways, but she decides not to listen because she just wants to be with him. Meanwhile, Sukune is busy learning swimming lessons from the woman, but he is sad since he is really worried about Mocha. The woman tells him to forget about her because he has her now as his new woman. Besides, she has had her eyes on him the whole time since school started. He tells her sorry and tries to leave, but the woman stops him and finally reveals their true nature, as her members suck all the boys dry. She tells him not to blame her since this is how the mermaids have survived from ancient times. She finally reveals the truth that she had eyes on him because she knows he is a human, and they are very fond of human meat. All the mermaids surround him, telling the woman it's unfair that she is hogging him all to herself. The two girls finally realize what's going on, and Mocha made it just in time to rescue him. She jumps in the water even though she knows it will hurt her, but sadly, she gets overpowered by the water and ends up drowning. Sukune tries his best to save her but can't because of the woman until Kirimu intervenes. He immediately swims towards her and pulls her rosary off as she transforms into the dominant Mocha and easily overpowers the water with her sheer strength. The woman is really surprised to see this but tells her it doesn't matter. She is still a vampire. She and the other mermaids start squirting water on her, and Mocha starts getting weaker again. But Kirimu and the midget intervenes, saving Mocha. Mocha taunts the woman, calling her a stinky fish, which annoys her, and she immediately starts attacking her. Mocha jumps in the air, luring her out since she knows it will be difficult to deal with her in the water. The woman falls for it and immediately gets knocked the shit out. As Mocha gets out of the water, Sukune tries to help her, asking if she is alright. But she just slaps him, telling him not to be so smug. He doesn't understand the other Mocha at all. As she leaves, she tells him that someone as selfish as him has no right to be beside her because he made the other Mocha cry. Sukune finally realizes that the one who doesn't understand her was actually him, not the other way around, as he thought that Mocha only cared about him because she was his food. The next day, Mocha didn't come to class, and he is really sad realizing that it was his fault for being selfish. So, after he finally gets the chance to see her, he immediately apologizes, and he is willing to leave the club. But she tells him not to worry, and he can join the club if he wants to. Even though she can't swim, she will definitely cheer him from the poolside. They start arguing about what to do, but their teacher intervenes, asking them to join her newspaper club instead. They gladly accepts her invitation, and the other two girls decides to join as well. The teacher is really happy because her club will be safe now and won't get disbanded.